Hello, welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge, or mid-morning. We have two Canadian blended whiskeys. This is WD Liquors Premium Canadian. Now I had to put off Stout Sunday till next Sunday. Okay, so scheduling issues. I wanted to go walking right now, but it's raining. The rain, the rain. Now here is Winn-Dixie Liquors. Winn-Dixie is a grocery chain stretching from Louisiana to Florida. Was purchased by Aldi last month. Exclusive premium Canadian. It is exclusive because it's only sold at Winn-Dixie stores. There's the fleur de lis for the French people of Canada and two lines, I guess, for the British Empire. All right, but anyway, Winn-Dixie was founded in 1955 with two different grocery chains merging together. And these are very common because if you can go to Winn-Dixie, you can get these, okay? Now in Florida, they don't allow liquor sales in a grocery store, but what they'll do is they get around that law. They'll have Winn-Dixie grocery store, and right next to it, in the same parking lot, it'll say Winn-Dixie Liquors. It's a game, it's the same place. John and Illy, good morning. Ron, good morning, Mr. R. All right, now I welcome you to this taste challenge. Now this is Canadian Peak. You can see the Canadian Rockies in the background, then the purple in the front. It had a slightly different bottle design earlier. It was like more rounded and with a taller spout, but it might have broke easily. Like they might have changed it because it was breaking or something. That's a theory I had. A blend of premium Canadian whiskeys mellowed in white oak cask to achieve an exceptional flavor, but they're spelling it in the American way. Flavor and smoothness, because probably what happened was they're writing this in Frankfort, Kentucky at Buffalo Trace, and they don't realize that in Canada it's flavor, F-L-A-V-O-U-R. All right, but anyway, this is produced in Canada by Sazerac Canada in Montreal. They call it the Old Montreal Distillery, I think it's called. There's a big essay on the back about it, how great it is, No, you won't see it on the Sazerac website because they don't promote any Canadian whiskeys on their website except for VO. Seagram's VO. That's the one they always pushing. There's a very similar shaped bottle of Seagram's VO Black. I saw that's at Rouse's. I haven't bought the VO Black. I guess they're trying to compete with Crown Royal Black. There is a VO Black as of maybe the last 2 years. There is a Seagram's VO Apple. All right. I know it. I can prove it. I'm not going to go buy it because I got too much Canadian whiskey now. But this Canadian Peak has really been on the market since 1961. I would almost guarantee you that the bottle did not look like anything like this in 1961. It was probably just a standard Canadian whiskey bottle, how they look, cylindrical bottle. But who came out with Canadian Peak originally? I do not know. Maybe we could do some research here and find out. I know it's under Sazerac's control today. I know also that Rouse's sells a Canadian whiskey in an identical bottle with a different label. It's blue instead of purple, and it's called Canadian. I can't remember the name. It's something, I don't know. It's probably just like this. I'm not saying it's the same recipe, but I bet it's close. Okay. And they're always putting ads in the newspaper for that, like they got a deal. Let's see, Canadian whiskey, Canadian Peak. Current owner, the Sazerac Company. Oh, the Sazerac Company, not what they say on the label, which is County Line Distillers, bottled in Kentucky by County Line Distillers. Well, you know what County Line Distillers is an alias name for Buffalo Trace Sazerac, okay? I know, I found the list. The U.S. government's got a list. Canadian whiskey, saying 2018. I know that's not right because I found 1961. Let's go back. Oh, here we go. Here's the older. Majestic Distilling. Oh, Maryland. I think that's closed down. But Sazerac had bought it. Uh-huh. Yep. First used May 1961. May 1961. Original owner, Majestic Distilling. Well, what do you know? Okay, but I think Majestic Distilling doesn't exist. I think the building was demolished. It's gone. You know, no big deal. Where does the name Sazerac come from? It's from an old cocktail, but if you look at their website, I don't know if even they know where the name comes from. We have a grocery chain up here called Market Basket, says John and Neely. They apparently have their own liquors, but only in some stores, not in my immediate area. I'll have to check them out to see what they offer. Yeah, check them out because I got a feeling that it might be handled by Sazerac. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying that this has no website listing. It actually does on Winn-Dixie's website, and it's a Winn-Dixie captive brand. I guess I could post that. It's not really useful, but you know, I can't say it doesn't have a website listing, and it does. So let's go. Let me clear that up right now. I'm sorry, I forgot. Okay, Winn-Dixie, owned by Aldi as of a month ago. Okay. Winn-Dixie Canadian whiskey. Let me look for it. Oh, there it is. Still on sale. All right, I'll show y'all this. Do a screen share. Cheers, Burley Sullivan. Were you a bagger or a booper, a cashier? My first job was at Market Basket in Londonderry, New Hampshire. Oh, bagged groceries and shagged the shopping carts. Yeah. Yep, that's what people do. Okay, so here we go with a screen share for what it's worth, and it ain't worth much, believe me. So that's what you see on the Winn-Dixie website. In-store only. This product is only for purchase in-store. Well, I don't think they can deliver whiskey in Louisiana. This product is part of this sales group, a mix and match. And I'll show you what that. Okay, so 1,750 milliliters. It's $13.99 until June 30th. And that's about only at Winn-Dixie. That makes sense because it's WD Liquors. Now let's see what's part of the mix and match. Oh, okay, you can mix berries. All right. Let's see, Winn-Dixie. I'll just show you some of the others. Winn-Dixie Premium Vodka. Of course, it's premium. You know, $11.99. $11.99. Once again, it's from our friends at Wide World Distillers. Yeah, also known as Buffalo Trace. And here's 100 proof. Now, I'd be more curious to try the 100 proof, tell you the truth, although it probably knocked me out. You can't get a blow up photo of it. Well, it's just a blue label with some, I don't know what kind of writing on it. All right. So, yeah, there you go. Take your pick. They got tequila, rum, everything. John Neely says boop. We call cashiers boopers because that's the sound that the groceries make when you run them past the scanner. Boop, boop. Y'all are so creative. they're going to have a meeting in Massachusetts this year with the governor, and they're going to declare John Anilli an honorary Yankee. Okay. I don't know if I can make that ceremony. All right. Now here's the Canadian Peak, 1961. Bought this at Hocus Pocus Liquors. Like I said, the one at Rouse's I saw is like the same exact bottle, but I think it's called like Canadian Overlook or Canadian Vista or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's got a wooden cap and it has a real cork. That's real cork. That's not like plastic or screw cap. See that? Real cork. I mean, even Crown Royal doesn't have a real cork. It has a plastic twist cap. See what I mean? Does not say anything about natural flavors. I'd be interested in trying some store brand bourbon. I'll pass on the Canadian stuff, I think. Okay. You know what? They do have a Winn-Dixie bourbon. Yeah. I can show you the bottle if you want to see it. I got it. It was $15.99. Is it any good? Look, I don't know if it's any good. I know it's from Buffalo Trace. Is it their best bourbon? Yeah, that's right. They're taking Pappy Van Winkle that you got to pay $90 for, and they're putting it in a $15.99 handle. Yeah, sure, it's the best one. Yeah, believe that. You know, nobody in their right mind will believe that. Living in, okay. Oh, one more thing. Sazerac is very good about saying if they're adding flavoring. Okay, if they add flavoring, they just take. We add flavoring. Don't like it, don't buy it. This one says nothing about flavors added. It says nothing about coloring added. So I'm taking Sazerac's general operating procedures, and I'm going to say this is the natural color. It's not really that dark, actually. It's pretty light, and it's a natural flavor. Now, whether it's good or not, we're going to find out. I haven't had it in a while. This one tells you point blank, whiskey with natural flavors. And I know Johnny Neely loves that because he's into that almond extract thing. You're always talking about he loves whiskey with that almond extract flavor. And I'm being sarcastic because he actually dislikes it. Living in Texas, it's always strange seeing liquor sold in grocery stores. Went to a Target store in Louisiana and they had an entire aisle of liquor. I know Texas is restrictive, right? You can't even buy liquor on a Sunday. But in Louisiana, you can buy liquor any day of the week. Now, in this particular parish where I live, you can't buy liquor or beer between 2 and 6 in the morning. There's that refrigerator again. Between 2 and 6 in the morning. And they passed out that ordinance because they said that's when all the drunks were out fighting. And that's when they had the biggest trouble. But I don't think they were coming from the grocery store. I think they were coming from the barroom fighting. But but at 2 a.m., that's it. No more liquor sales, whether you're in a bar or a restaurant or a grocery store. And then at 6 a.m., it's wide open. So I can go to Walmart 6 a.m., buy this, well, similar products. I can buy the Caliber Canadian whiskey, which is very similar. Okay. Did Target have their own brands? That's a good question. Does Target have store brand liquor, beer, and wine? No, laughing out loud, says Slambo. Well, a lot of stores do, though, Slambo. Maine has liquor in the grocery stores. Good, says Burley. Good. Wings and Pizza says Pennsylvania's the same way. No liquor in stores. However, in my area, certain chain grocers have a state liquor store attached, like in Florida. Oh, no, you can't buy liquor in the grocery store. Are you crazy? You just got to step out the front door, go next door to Winn-Dixie Liquors and buy it. Like, that's really changing things. I didn't know the new Colt 45 was made by City Brewing Company. They do a good job on it, says Hector. I saw your video. Yeah, it just started about maybe 2 weeks ago. Okay. And we're getting the first run of the City Brewing Colt 45. Appearance, well, actually, there isn't much difference here. The Canadian Peak is a little darker. But like I said, if y'all want to see that Winn-Dixie bourbon, let me know. I'll be right back. My hair is getting all crazy right now. When I first tried it, I didn't like it. I tried that Colt 45, and I was like, oh man, they did a bad job. But then the second can, I was sipping on it, doing other stuff, and I was like, man, I think it's pretty good. I don't know why I didn't like it, but I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to it when I tried the City Brewing Taps Blue Ribbon. I didn't like it, and then the second bottle, I liked it. The Schlitz, I didn't like it. Oh man! But by the time I got through the second half of the 12 pack, I was like, oh okay, I see. They were taking a different approach, whatever. I don't know why you want to change it, but whatever. But you can't say anything about Schlitz because Schlitz changed so many times over the years. I mean, it hasn't changed profoundly. You know what I'm saying? Like it always tastes like beer, regular beer. But it's like for a while they even were making it like an India Pale Lager, which that was too far out of control. So I didn't like it. It was too hoppy. And I think Pabst must have talked to them and said, talking about Miller, and said, oh no, can't be making it like an IPO. We're not Samuel Adams, all right? So they dialed that back. I was at a neighborhood gathering, says John and Neil, on yesterday, and one couple originally from Canada brought a bottle of ice wine, a dessert wine infused with brandy. It was delightful, very popular up there. Ice wine, that's a new one on me. Yeah, these reformulations have rarely been better. They ruined Samuel Adams Boston Lager, says Wings and Pizza. Yeah, see, I didn't agree with it. I don't think they ruined it. I just think they altered it a little bit. I didn't really see where it was any different. I'm just telling you, but I did not do a blind taste test because there's no way I can, because by the time I found the new one, the old one was gone. All right, let's get down to it. It smells like grain, sweet corn. What do you expect? Canadian whiskeys like bourbon, it's mostly corn. Doesn't have to be. It just is. I'm talking about regular Canadian blended whiskey. I'm not talking about, obviously, Canadian rye whiskey is mostly rye. I mean, because I got to watch it, because some people are going to jump up saying, well, Canadian wheat whiskey is mostly wheat. I know that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the regular ones. Are there any dry counties in Louisiana? I don't think there are anymore. There are in Mississippi. Waxahachie, Texas is dry. I found that out a few years back when I was running up north during a hurricane evacuation. The only city left with hotel rooms available. I bet that was fun. I can remember 45 years ago, you could go to Mississippi and half the state, you could not have beer there. Couldn't even possess it. No, I don't know about now. Boston Lager was reformulated. It was tweaked. Yeah, Burley. John Inouye says, I couldn't tell much of a difference. Same recipe, just a different method of brewing the beer. Like Ron said, though, a blind taste challenge would be the only way to really know. It's the only way, but I guess you can't do it. You dissing Canada again, Anil. I'm watching you, says Paul Middlefru. Yes, Burley, laughing out loud. Cheers, Paul. John Anil is an anti-Canadaite. All right, let's go with the taste. So aroma is not really that different. Oh, price. They're both very grain oriented. Makes sense. $13.99. And I think this is a regular bottle. It's not a big bottle. It was $17.99, I think. Actually, it might have been $13.99 on discount. I think it was like something like crazy price, $13.99, but it's going up. It was like they were introducing it to that place, Hocus Pocus Liquor, so they had like a really low price. But this is a regular bottle, and if you go there now, it's like $19.99, okay, or it's like $17.99 because they're trying to compete with Crown Royal. So they're like, it's just as good as Crown Royal, but it's cheaper. And I don't think they're pulling away too many Crown Royal drinkers because they're just going to buy Crown Royal, even if they did a blind taste test and they couldn't tell it apart. They were like, I gotta get a Crown, I like Canadian beer, Paul. That's about it, though. Okay, taste. Cheers, folks. Tell you what, if this rain stops, I'm going walking. Okay. It's got that natural flavorings flavor going. And I don't know what it is. John Anilli says almond extract. I think it tastes like vanilla cream, like something you would use in a Duncan Hines cake icing. I'm not joking about that. Now you say, well, that could be natural, vanilla, cream, sugar. It's natural. I know it's natural. Now, some people will get on the internet talking about, oh, well, then it's not a true whiskey. Well, you're wrong. I mean, I'm sorry, you're wrong. I mean, I didn't write the law. I don't run Canada. I've been to Canada. The people making the comments do not control Canada. In Canada, you're allowed to have flavoring added to whiskey, blended whiskey. That's the law. Okay, there's a certain level they can't go above it. It's got to be natural flavors. Otherwise, it's like not strict. Do I think they went to the top of their allowance on this? Yeah, I think they flavored it as high as they could go and stopped. I think it's 9.09% of the content of the whole volume could be flavored. Now, whether that's good or bad, that's up to you. It doesn't have bad flavors. I like Duncan Hines cake icing, frosting. I like vanilla. I like sugar. I like sugar cream. But I wouldn't necessarily really want to have it in whiskey, but there it is. Okay. Happy birthday to your father, Jay, says Jason Cleveland. Oh, thank you. I already called in this morning and told him happy birthday. Okay. John Anilli says natural flavorings, almond extract, vanilla cream, whatever. I don't want those flavors in my whiskey. I'm going to have to make a rant video now, laughing out loud. Thanks, Ron. Yeah. Good morning, John Anilli. I hope you have a blessed day, says Jason. And Jason says, we'll have a. And John says, hey, Jason, thanks. I hope you have a blessed day. Also, cheers. And Jason says, will there be a Super Sunday? Couldn't do Super Sunday this weekend. I mean, I could do it in 10 minutes, but I think something's going to happen. Like somebody's going to call me and say, oh, the schedule changed. And it's just too risky. So, yeah, we better not do it. I hate to miss it. And in fact, it was supposed to be Stout Sunday, but I don't have a Stout. But, or a porter. I was going to get the Founders Porter. But yes, we're going to wait till the 9th, June 9th, and we'll do Stout Sunday. All right, now it's time to taste and do it. Now, see, John Anilli, you would like this one because it's got no almond extract flavor. Is David coming over for reviews today? No. I'm talking about something else going on. No, but he came over yesterday, and we did do some beer reviews, and they were very interesting. We did do a video for this one. I did a blind taste test, but then I said, later I thought about it. I said, what was the point of doing that? He never had it. How would he be expected to guess it? You know what I mean? It's like, I really wanted to see what he would say about it without knowing. But he kind of knew what it was because he saw it on my counter in the kitchen. And I think it wasn't, he knew what it was. He was just trying to act like he didn't. And so then I was thinking, this video was pointless. I should have just done it open. Like, what do you think about this product? So I'm not going to post it because there's no sense to it. Now, if he decides he wants to do a second follow-up review, which would be new for the channel, of this product, then we'll do it. He's really more interested in that Kentucky straight bourbon. from Barton called Barton Very Old Barton 86 proof. That's the one you really want to do, Very Old Barton 86 proof. But like you said, I'm more of a bourbon person. I can't take issue with that. You may as well drink what you like. Quick and on baseball. Quick one on baseball. Thoughts on the Mariners' success this season? Can it last? Answer: maybe, but they got to stop this doing well, then doing terrible. Doing well, doing terrible. Doing well, doing terrible. Doing well, doing terrible. There's no middle ground. So I don't know. I wouldn't be too confident in it. I did, John, at a wine festival many years ago. I tried ice wine. Some were okay, but what I recall most, they were too sweet for my discerning palate. See? Okay, now let's get down to it. This one is obviously not flavored. It's just straight grain spirits. Corn, a little rye, a little barley malt whiskey, maybe a little wheat whiskey. It's more authentic. And it costs more, so, it's got a real cork and everything. So, does this taste better than Crown Royal? Doesn't taste worse. Put it to you that way, it doesn't taste worse. So if I can get this for $17.99 and Crown Royal's $23.99, common sense will tell you I'm gonna get this. All right, I'm gonna get it. I'm just telling you. Now, if you bring this to a party, then the people are gonna have an attitude like, "What's that? I never heard of it. I bet it's bad." Okay, what's that? So they don't know. I never heard of it. I don't know how that's relevant to the taste. And I bet it's bad. So they're going to say three things. I bet it's bad. Not that they've ever tried it. And they'll say, "Oh, no, I like Crown." They always say Crown here. "I like Crown. I like my Crown." They say my Crown like they identify with it. I identify with it. But I tell them at work, I'm like, "But you never thought of trying something else?" And they look at me like, "Well, what do you mean try something else?" I said, "Well, they got a whole lot of Canadian whiskeys on the market. I know some are cheap. I'm not saying you got to try cheap ones, but you could try comparable ones. Canadian Club, that's the same price as Crown Royal. Maybe a little cheaper, but not by any important measure. Rich and Rare Reserve, there's a good one. But they look at you perplexed, like, what you mean try something else? I'm like, you literally could try something else. But they can't even process that information. It's like, but it's not Crown Royal. And I say, but it's not the only liquor. It's not the only whiskey that's from Canada. And they say, but I like my Crown Royal. And no one's arguing that point that you like Crown Royal and that's your Crown Royal. But you could try. So now they won't even try other Crown Royals. So it gets more extreme. Like I know a guy, I see him buying bottles after work. He'll say, "Tell a lick, give me a bottle of Crown." Goes home with it. I said, "Glenn, you ever tried Crown Royal Black?" "Oh, he doesn't even know what this is. He never heard of it." I said, "You ever tried Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye or Crown Royal Bourbon Mash or Crown Royal?" All those variants. "Oh, what's he tell me? They make that?" I say, "Yeah." "Oh, no, I never tried that." And he's never going to try that. That's it. It's like, I'm only going to try this. But now, to be fair, he doesn't go around talking dog on other products. He doesn't talk dog on other products. But I don't know. I just don't get it. Like, it's like, why wouldn't you want to try other? Like, why would you want to just be like stuck in that one thing? It's like beer. They only drink Coors Light. I'll drink my Coors Light. Okay. Canadian Club Small Batch Classic 12 is my favorite Canadian whiskey. That rye is also very good. I want to try the rye. Oh, thank you, Johnny. I still have some of that Classic 12. Wait, do I? Did I finish it all? Oh, ouch. Can't remember. But that was a great gift, Johnny Lee. That was Johnny Lee's great gift to me. We made many great gifts, but that was one of the great ones. That was fabulous. That was fabulous. All right. This is clearly the Winn-Dixie WD Liquors since 1955. Premium Canadian whiskey. Do I like the flavor? I like the flavor. There is a little oak underneath, but of course you've got this natural flavors thing going, which is going to turn off some people. So yeah, okay, I get it. It is what it is. Let's look at it like that. It is what it is. But it is $13.99. So, oh, good. The rain stopped. Oh boy, it's time to get out there and hit the pavement. All right, now this one here is much nicer. I mean, it's clearly a lot better. So I haven't even checked the labels yet. Might be a good idea to check, right? I know I won, but anyway, yeah, there it is. So Canadian Peak, I think the distribution is probably pretty bad on it, but I found it. And but the flavor is really great. I think it has gone toe to toe with Crown Royal on my taste challenges, and I think it will go toe to toe in the future. It is a nice product. Don't let the fact that it's like, obscure cloud your judgment, because it should not do that. It just goes to show you there's a lot of products out there that we're not aware of, or that we maybe are barely aware of, and they can really shine. This is not the Winn-Dixie Premium Canadian is not one of them, but it's all right. I don't mind it. In fact, technically it's good. Like, it's good, but not anything to run down. But if you happen to be on a trip to Louisiana and you see it for $13.99, I don't really think you're going to go wrong with it. I don't see how you could try it and say it tastes nasty. There's nothing nasty about it. It's a little bit peculiar. My late mom's favorites were Canadian Club Premium and Seagram's VO. She sipped on them into her 80s, says Middle Fruit. Well, Seagram's VO is still very popular in Louisiana. I bet you for every one bottle of Canadian Peak that is sold, they sell 1,000 bottles of VO. 1,000. Now, Winn-Dixie is probably 700 to 1, 600 to 1, because this one does have a following. I mean, it's not going to sell like VO. I mean, let's just be honest. And VO is not going to be no $13.99. You'll never see VO for $13.99, maybe in a $3.75. But this big jug is $13.99 right now, today on sale, till the end of the month. Now, but it sells like mad. You say, I know, because it's cheap and people buying it for big get-togethers. Oh, that's exactly why they're buying it. They're not buying it so they can sit down and taste all the subtle nuances of the whiskey. I'm not living in some fantasy world. That's what they're buying it for. But it does work. Okay. But yeah, what are the top Canadian whiskeys in Louisiana? Obviously, Crown Royal without any competitors. There's really no real competitor. Coming in second is probably VO, Seagram's VO. Very popular. Everybody sells it and everybody's buying it. But not to the extent of Crown. Crown, I want my Crown. Beyond that is all the runner-ups. The far behind. Canadian Club, Canadian Limited, Rich and Rare, doggone, what's that one called? Of course, Canadian Mist, which has got a following. But I mean, Crown Royal is probably 85% of the Canadian whiskey market in Louisiana. I'm not kidding about that. It was actually the best-selling whiskey in Louisiana of any type. Crown Royal outsells Jack Daniels in Louisiana. Crown Royal outsells Jim Beam in Louisiana. Crown Royal outsells everybody in Louisiana as far as whiskey is concerned. Now, that might sound astronomically crazy, but it's the truth. All right, now we're going to close out. If anybody wants to see this WD Liquors bourbon bottle, I'll show it to you. If not, I'm out of here. Shay Sham says Crown is weird and overrated, in my opinion. I'd rather have a bourbon at the same price point. Really? Good morning, says Tom. John Italy says, show it. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to walk because I don't want that rain to start up again. Okay, you stay there. Okay. Here it is. This is always like $2 more. It's like $15.99. But that's not a lot for a bourbon. It says genuine. Well, I'm glad it's not fake. Genuine Kentucky bourbon whiskey distilled in Kentucky. Yeah, that would make sense. If it's Kentucky bourbon, we would have to assume it's distilled in Kentucky. Come on, Winn-Dixie, y'all got to do a better job with your labels. We all know that. If it's a Hawaiian beer, we would assume it's made in Hawaii. Okay, but anyway, we'll give them a pass because it is only $15.99 right now to the end of the month. It shows a jockey with a horse out in Lexington, Kentucky somewhere. All right, so there you go. I've been seeing this. I have been seeing this bottle in Winn-Dixie since I was like 8 years old, and I'm not kidding about that. And I don't think they changed the label. I think in 1975, 76, the same, but it was glass. Like my friend David said, yeah, but back then the bottles were glass. I said, yeah, you're right. But it says from a company called Wide World Importers, aged 3 years. Okay, so they got an age statement, aged 3 years. Is it very similar to Ancient Age? It might be, but it doesn't say sour mash for some reason. And it doesn't say straight bourbon. I don't know why it doesn't say straight bourbon. It's aged 3 years. And it yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I wouldn't say straight bourbon, but it just say bourbon. Strange. But like I said, I've been seeing this like almost my whole life, and it never changed. They never bothered changing the label. Now, is it any good? I cannot testify to that. I've never had it, but I never had a bad bourbon yet. I never tried a bourbon yet that was bad. I had some that were, kind of shaky. Not the best, but bad. No, I never had that. All right, so when I do bourbon next year, I might get to it before the end of the year, but this is the next one I'm doing. I don't expect to see any video reviews for it. I don't expect to see a lot of action going on, but it is actually very popular in Louisiana, for good or bad. All right. Well, thanks for watching, folks, and now it's time to go walking. And so the clear and present winner, like I said before, is Canadian Peak, and it's not close. It's not close. It costs more than the Winn-Dixie Liquors, and it ought to cost more because it's like clearly better. Hey, that's the way it works out sometimes. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.